What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Garage Life. I am Tyson, and as you can see here, I made a pre-order of the Kaiju EXT 1/8 scale. I got the copper color, and I'm excited to get in here and see what's in here. It just showed up in the mail, and I want to get out and rip this thing before it gets dark. I'm super pumped about this. I've never had a Red Cat racing vehicle before. I've always been Arma or Traxxas. So I'm excited to get into this and see what it is. But it looks like, just going around looking at the outside and looking at the box and seeing what kind of pops out at me. 8th scale, 4-wheel drive, brushless, waterproof electronics, coreless digital servo. Looks like a 25 kg Metal Gear servo that's waterproof, up to 7.4 volts, aluminum center case, 3 to 6 cell capable ESC in here, 150 amp, waterproof and dustproof. This is a Hobby Wing. This is a Hobby Wing brushless motor, 4068, 2100 kV motor. You got some replaceable plastic skid protection with a intake, ram air intake. Sweet. We're going to see what the ram air intake is all about. Maybe it'll help provide some extra cooling. I don't know. The back looks about the exact same, except for on the back, you got the white one. So it looks like one side's white, one side's copper. Now I did get the copper one. You need 4 AA batteries for the transmitter. You need a 3 to 6 cell LiPo. And the charger here on the side, you just got some extra pictures of the truck. Pretty standard stuff. But I'm too excited to get in here, so let's grab our knife and let's just open this guy up. Metallic copper is what they call it. Metallic copper. Oh, and then it opens upside down. That's always weird to me. Like, you would think if you open the box like this, the truck would slide out like this, but it's actually in there upside down. So let's just grab this. See? It's upside down. What are they doing? Or maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe it doesn't open that way. Alright, let's get rid of this garbage. Let's flip this on its lid, just like this. See what falls out over here. Lift this up. Nothing in here. I'm going to grab this out and not get too excited too quick, so I want to get rid of everything that doesn't go here. And then we're going to talk about the truck. Again, this is pretty new for me. I've never had a Red Cat vehicle before. I know the Kaiju was popular. So now I can slide up a chair and take a look at this truck. This is just such a good size. Like, I really like this size. It's about Creighton size. Tires are quite a bit different. The tires feel, actually, on the side wall is pretty soft, but the top tread, so like if you're squeezing it like this, that's pretty soft, but this top tread is actually pretty hard. So I think it's going to do well on pavement. Not sure about off-road. I mean, they feel grippy, but it's a harder compound on the top here as to where the sidewall, we're going to see how that holds up. I'm interested in that. First things, I don't see, the tires are not outside vented. You do have a little, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is some play in here. So I always go through and I'll check everything, make sure everything's tight. I'll do that out in the garage when I'm grabbing the batteries and plugging it in. Here you have a nice wing here. I like, if you can see in the rims here, how where it says Red Cat in there. I think that's kind of a unique look. Kind of a unique look. Now we got a nice looking body here. I guess I'll do this. Or you gotta sniff it. You always gotta sniff it first, and then we'll do the pull, which really wasn't too much of a pull. So this body, I don't know what to think of this body right away. Like, I think it looks fine. Where it gets me is a little bit is there's no real front bumper. The body is the front bumper. So you have a little bit of a skid, little bumper up here. Just a tiny little thing. I don't know. I'm interested to see if that's going to hold up to bashing or anything like that. And then you have the body here, so it's like, I feel like this might just, like, if you hit something, it's going to crunch that body, but I don't know. You just never know. We got the tethered body clips here. Windshield painted black. It looks like it is a sticker. In fact, most of this looks like a sticker. All the decals, like all this black, this isn't painted on. This is all a decal. So all this black right here, that's just a sticker. The windshield is a sticker. You can see where the lines are, where they cut it to line it up. Some of it's peeling off a little bit. The back is a sticker. This is a sticker. This is a sticker on top of a sticker. This is a sticker. So it looks like maybe it was just a copper body and then they decaled all the black design on it. Which, I don't know if that really bothers me or not. I mean, we'll see how it holds up. That's the most important thing to me, is how it holds up. I'll most likely end up putting a different body on here anyway. And then underneath, you can see right here, there's a clear piece of plastic right here with a pad. That's supposed to be protection against the shock tower, it looks like. The back does not have one. You have the hole right here where I can physically see my finger right through here. So air is going to come in. This is plastic, reinforced plastic. It's going to come down. It's bolted on with a few bolts. Air is going to come in. I mean, body kind of just feels like a standard type of body. I think it could be a little bit better with my first impressions here, but that is what it is. So here you have the truck. You know, you got a plastic chassis here, plastic A-arms. One thing I'm noticing right away is it does come with the dust cover right here. So it's held on in all four corners, just a little spot in each corner to hold this dust cover on. Kind of nice to build that in and have that right off the bat. Protect some of the stuff here. So now we look in here and you got your ESC here. You got the T-style connector or Dean's connector. Luckily I have two 3-cell Dean's batteries that I will just use for this maiden voyage of this guy. You have the 4068 2100 kV motor sitting right back in here. You got a fan on top with a... You got a fan on top. They just wire the wire right across to the receiver box. Something nice I do like about the receiver box that I wish would become a bigger thing that I'm actually just noticing right now. I was actually thinking about this in my head the other day. I was like, I don't like 4 bolts holding on the receiver box when I want to get in there to repair or rebind my transmitter. It's like, you got to take out these 4... But, you know, like, it's just a pain in the butt, and I don't like it. So on here, they actually have a body clip, and then it opens up. It just opens right up. So you can get in there nice and easy. Close this back up. It has a hole. It goes down over a body post and pins shut. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but you got a hinge on this side right here. You got a body clip. You pull that out. It just pops right open. Super nice and easy. We'll see how it holds out elements, but I really, really like that design, and hopefully more people will go towards that, because you can have a seal in there and still shut it, and it works. Like, it's just, you can be in there super easy, and to me, that's pretty important. So it looks like your body towers with a body clip here do go up and down, so you can take this body clip out, raise the body post up. These body posts, I don't think you're going to want them too high. They seem pretty thin. I don't know how well they're going to hold up. But we're going to find out. They seem a little thin, and yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. You got some nice thick shock towers on here. These look pretty thick and heavy duty. I don't see how these things would ever break, but you never know. You got the plastic chassis in here. Now this does look like it's a couple different, so it looks like you may have the main chassis tub, and then you have some braces right here. These plastic braces right in here go from the shock tower down to the chassis. The couple bolts holding on the chassis, a couple holding in the shock tower, and then it's also secured on by a cross member here that goes from body post to body post that is holding your body posts on, but goes into the shock tower and through that brace. You also have aluminum shocks here with plastic lids. Plastic lids, I wish it would have come with aluminum. But you got some nice spring action in there. And when I push down on this, it feels pretty plush. I mean, look how slow that comes back up. I mean, it's like I can get it to go all the way to the bottom. Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty plush. You got a nice looking ride height here. You got CVDs, steel, it looks like CVDs in here, ball bearings. You got some pretty decent looking A-arms. I don't see that there's really going to be a problem with any of these A-arms. It looks like it's set up for a sway bar maybe. There's some like holes right here with a ball on there, like maybe a sway bar goes and pins on there, but no sway bar out of the box. No sway bar out of the box. You got some really strong captured camber links in here. You got the C-style hubs in here, and I like that. I'm not a big fan of the ball hubs. So you got the pillow balls. You got the C-style hubs in here. I tend to like those a little bit more. They look pretty bulky. The A-arms look nice and bulky. See if I can just bend them a little bit with my hands. I mean, they feel pretty durable. You got a little bit of shock protection built right in, so this goes over the shock screw is actually through this. So this is just a little guard that's screwed onto the A-arm, but it's protecting that little bit part of the bottom of the shock there. And then you got some bulky plastic up in here for the tie rods. The tie rod ends look pretty bulky. They are captured in there. So, I mean, that looks pretty good. I mean, everything looks pretty bulky in there, and I kind of like that. You got some room in here. Let's see, the servo. Looks like you got easy access on this side over here to try to tighten the servo saver if need be. Now, the first thing, okay, so that's for the sway bar. So there is spots on even the differentials to put a sway bar. So I would say there's going to be a sway bar, or that you could, maybe the old Kaiju sway bar would work. But I would guess they'd have a sway bar, or will have a sway bar very soon for this. It does look like up here on the front, there's some screw holes in here for, looks like maybe a bumper that you could put on here. So maybe there's going to be a bashing kind of bumper, or a bigger bumper to help brace. It looks kind of weird with no body on to not have a bumper there. Like, the no bumper thing kind of gets me. You got your on-off switch here. I mean, other than that, that kind of looks like it takes us around to the back where you have, here's your back view. You got a nice looking wheelie bar here, like rubber grippy tires. So those will be good. This is one pin that goes all the way through. So you got the head and the nut on this side. It seems like a pretty bulky wing slash wheelie bar brace. I mean, just look at the thickness right here in this. And it is adjustable if you want to adjust that. Go straight into the shock tower and through the brace, the chassis brace. Now, the drive cups and drive shafts seem a little small for a 6-cell. But this also doesn't seem to be nearly as wide as like a Creighton would be. Like, I'm just sitting here, like I can push in the top of the tires and the truck raises up, everything goes in. Let's see what we got here, if we have any bump stops, or if the shock goes all the way in. It looks like the shock is going to go up all the way in, no droops, nothing. From the best I can tell, nothing is stopping this from actually drooping other than the shock. So that might be something to be cautious about. There is 2 battery straps in here. It looks like you're going to be able to fit most size batteries. You got some Velcro battery straps in there. Underneath you have the servo coming through with a, looks like a metal servo horn there. You got the skid plate here, which is all plastic. Bottom of the chassis says Red Cat on it. I like that. So for an 1/8 scale, I paid like $4.59, I think. but I ordered it directly from Red Cat, pre-ordered it. There was no shipping, no taxes. So for $4.59 for everything ready to run other than battery, we'll get out and rip it and make the actual determination of how it is. I want to see how this can hold up compared to other things that I'm used to. But I want to go through this thing, make sure everything is tight and ready to run, and then I'll put some batteries in it and take it out and rip it. I like the look of it. I think it's going to be a pretty solid little truck, but the only way we're really going to know is to get out there and drive it. Now I'm just sitting here messing, and I can move the wing back and forth, so it's like sliding on the screw on the top here. It's moving in there. So that just tells me that that screw might be loose, and I might want to tighten that up. But I'll go through and I'll tighten everything up in here. I always do that with new RC cars. I think you should too. Make sure the wheels are tight. Make sure that the wheels are tight. Make sure that the bolts through the system are tight. Go through and just check everything. I'll probably pull off the gear cover here just to look at the gear mesh. Make sure the pinion gear is tight. Now it looks like, I can't really tell. It'll be interesting to see what is in there, you know, as far as there's not going to be a center differential in here. The motor is pointed towards the back, so right here is your pinion, here's your spur, rear differentials right here, so you're probably just going to have a tiny, like a drive shaft going right to that rear differential, and then I would assume there's a center drive shaft going all the way to the front, which you can't see because it's all covered up on the chassis, which is nice. And then underneath is going to be where you access it. So you would take off this guard underneath here to get to the center drive shaft. And we might do that just to see what else is in there, because there's a little spot that we can open it up. So I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to pop some batteries in this thing, take it out for a rip, and I'll let you guys know what I think. So let's have some footage and go have some fun with this thing. Okay, so I was going to go and drive this thing. I put batteries in it, and I was going to go out and run. Turn it on. Couple things. One, the steering servo this was not lined up. The steering was way out, so I had to take off the servo horn, reline up the steering. Fine and dandy, okay? Here's the next thing that I noticed right out of the box, okay? So do you see anything wrong with this picture? Right here. So I was simply kind of just pushing around on it on the desk here, and then I noticed the tire gets stuck like that. And I was like, what is happening? And you look into it, and the drive shaft and the end of the drive shaft on this side is completely broken off. There is no end to go into the diff outdrive. It's just snapped off. Nothing there. Couldn't even drive it. So I put a warranty claim in to Red Cat today. We'll see how long it takes them to get on that and whatever happens with that. But I don't know what happened to quality control in 2020 and 2021. But getting a truck that you pre-ordered in the mail, excited, trying a new brand. I've never tried Red Cat. Trying a new brand, and I mean, this is the first impression that I get with it. So I want to believe in Red Cat and everything, and I feel like it's a decent feeling truck. But when you can't drive it because the drive shaft isn't there and it got shipped brand new in the box like that, makes you wonder about the rest of the truck, right? So I have a case open. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram. If you'd like, join the Facebook group, because I'll keep you updated along the way of how this is coming along. I put a warranty claim in. I want to see, you know, are they going to send me a new piece, or do I have to buy a new piece? I don't know. And how long it takes to get this thing actually up and running for the first time when it should be supposed to be ready to run out of the box. It's missing the ready to run part of this truck. So a little disappointing, and I don't know that again, I don't want to be too hard on Red Cat because I've gotten Traxxas that was missing stuff, or not necessarily missing, but had bolts not in the right spot or missing bolts. I've had some Arma stuff come with loose equipment on it too. So, I mean, they've all had faults, but I've never had a drive shaft broken when it gets here, to the point of I couldn't even drive this if I wanted to, because the drive shaft on the driver rear side isn't even in. Doesn't even go in. There's no end. Completely missing the end. So whoever put that together missed something. So subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Instagram, follow along with this journey to see how this turns out and how we can get this Red Cat Kaiju EXT back up and running. I've noticed a few other things on this vehicle just as I've been playing with it here. And I really wanted to get it out to see how it held up, because the body mounts seem more like a 10th scale body post, which could be, I'm just a little suspect. I think they might be a little weak. And the drive shafts even seem like a little bit more 10th scale than 8th scale. But you never really know until you get out and run it and put it through its paces how the stuff is going to hold up. But you can't even do that when there's a broken drive shaft. So anyway, thanks for checking this out, guys, on the unboxing. Sorry I couldn't get actual running footage together for you of this new Kaiju. But you know where I'm at with it, and we're going to be waiting on parts and to hear back from Red Cat to see what's going to happen with this truck. So, again, thanks for checking this out, and I hope you can actually get out there and bash, blast, and have some fun.